It is shotgun flavor. We're heading towards 2 o'clock, and you're locked on to Metro FM TG. Name is DJ Mloof. Just tuned in. Hello, welcome. Glad you could join us. Yeah, it's a bit late. But 40 minutes, it's okay. We can handle that together. And today, of course, because on the show there's an interesting feature which I loved from day one, where Pearl and Amon take a look at behind the scenes of what's happening in media. Because I know Pearl works a lot with TV. And behind the scenes on TV. So it was a nice conversation from the beginning. I was like, this is so cool. And today we're continuing that conversation with a lady that, has done some phenomenal things that you may know of. And if you didn't know, well, you're going to know about them today. Her name is Molatelo, Mainetje. I hope I pronounced her surname right. I know language barriers can be a thing sometimes. How am I doing? Was I okay?
Yes, you did well.
I was doing it in a Xhosa accent, so I don't know.
You did very well.
Okay. Well, Molatelo is, one of those women in the film industry, that stand out, or even when watching TV. I'm sure a lot of shows that you've watched, she's been behind those. Award-winning television news and current affairs producer, as well as a filmmaker with 16 years in experience in terms of TV and film industry. I don't know where you got that 16 years, because you don't look like anyone who's been working for 16 years.
I know. It's hard work.
How are you doing? You well?
I'm well, thank you.
All right, awesome. How's the Women's Month been treating you? I actually haven't asked someone who's a woman, how is Women's Month? Does it matter in your life, or you just like, I do this every month, man? What you talking about?
Every day.
Every day,
right?
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. So let's get back into your story. I mean, you have quite an interesting story, which I know quite a lot of women can relate to in the country. Some, they may not have the information, and they might learn a few things today. But let's get back to you as a child. Who are you as a child? What was your childhood like?
Gosh, my background, when I compare it with those of my colleagues that I work with in the industry today, it's very different. I come from deep rural Hamujaji in Limpopo province. My language is not official, Kilobedu. And I grew up basically in, behind mountains. I didn't know about TV until in the mid-1990s.
Wow.
So I grew up, I spent most of my time in the forest.
All right.
Yeah, so I basically got to be acquainted with television and film, like I said, in the mid-1990s. But I didn't even think I'll find myself sitting here talking about film today.
Now, that's quite a huge shift from the rural, upbringing into seeing your first, or having your first TV experience. But what made you want to get into it? What is that trigger?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say it was by chance.
Okay.
It was an industry that was very far from me, for me to even think I would be part of it one day. So I was at university, walking around when I saw a poster, are you interested in broadcasting? And by the time I was doing my honors degree, so I was completing my honors degree. So I was like, broadcasting, I think I should try that. I applied, and I was called for an interview, and here I am. That was back in 2000.
Wow. And as a rural child, what was the motivation to leave? Because sometimes you can get stuck in the environment that you're in, and you don't. You took a step to get out. What made that happen?
I think I'm adventurous.
Okay.
I never set limits for myself. Like I say, coming from that sort of setup to be where I am today, I'm constantly doing something that no one has done it around me. So it has become a norm for me now. Okay.
Now, you did say adventurous. Does that also include rebellious?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Constantly. I'm constantly rebellious. I'll tell you about my first experience that I remember, and it keeps coming back to me because I think it talks to what is happening currently in my life today. When I was 14, traditionally young girls go through what you call initiation rites. So at 14, when all my friends my age were being locked up in this mud huts to be taught womanhood, I said, I don't see any reason why I should be locked up in that mud hut for whatever period it was. It depends on families. So I decided I'm not going to do it. And, the women in the village went like, you're not going to do this. You're not going to be a real woman. You can never be a woman if you don't go through this. So I think I believed in practicality. I said, why would this thing make me the person that, I should be? I just never took it serious. Yeah. And that continued. I constantly defied culture, but not because I'm not cultural enough, not because I'm not proud of who I am, but if it's not practical, I don't do it.
Okay. So progressive application of culture, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I can relate to the story of initiation because as a Xhosa male, I had to go through my own initiation at 17. It made sense, but I've never been able to wrap my mind around female circumcision. But so I can understand the difficulty that you may have had in understanding that and wanting to get away. All right, now we need to take a short break, but I want to come back and talk more about your craft. All right, and one of the things that stand out is the movie that you're shooting, or you have shot already. That's in post-production at the moment, called Womb Man. But it's got another name as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It keeps changing.
Keeps changing. Okay. After the break, we're coming back with that.